A doctor's hard day. Dr. Jane woke up before the sun rose. Her alarm rang at 5:30 a.m., and for a moment she wanted to turn it off and sleep more. Her body felt heavy, but her mind was already thinking about the long day ahead. After a quick breakfast and a cup of strong coffee, she put on her coat and left her apartment. The streets were quiet, and the air was cold, but Jane knew the hospital would soon be full of noise and urgency. When Jane arrived at the hospital, she immediately sensed that it would be a difficult day. The emergency room was unusually busy. Ambulances arrived one after another, and nurses moved quickly from bed to bed. Jane changed into her uniform, checked the patient list, and began her shift without delay. The first patient was a middle-aged woman with serious breathing problems. Jane listened carefully to her lungs and ordered several tests. The woman looked frightened and kept asking if she would be okay. Jane sat beside her, explained the situation in simple words, and promised to do her best. A calm voice and a few kind sentences made the woman feel safer. Soon after, Jane was called to see a young man injured in a car accident. He was in a lot of pain and very angry. He shouted at the nurses and refused to cooperate. Jane stayed calm, even though she felt stressed. She spoke clearly and firmly, reminding him that everyone was trying to help. Slowly, the man relaxed and allowed the doctors to continue treatment. When he was taken to surgery, Jane felt a small sense of success, even though she was already tired. By noon, Jane had not eaten or rested. She finally sat down for a few minutes and took a sip of water, but her break did not last long. A nurse rushed in with urgent news. An elderly patient Jane had been treating for weeks suddenly became worse. Jane ran to the room, and the medical team worked together for a long time. Despite all their efforts, the patient passed away. Jane closed her eyes for a moment, feeling deep sadness and frustration. Losing a patient never became easier, no matter how much experience she had. The afternoon brought no relief. A child with a high fever cried in his mother's arms. A woman arrived with severe abdominal pain, and another patient waited anxiously for test results. Jane moved quickly from room to room, answering questions, making decisions, and offering comfort. Her feet hurt, her back ached, and her mind felt overloaded. But she continued without complaint. As evening approached, Jane finally sat at her desk to complete reports and review test results. Her hands trembled slightly from exhaustion. Just then, the woman with breathing problems from the morning returned to thank her. Her condition had improved, and she was going home. Her smile and grateful words touched Jane deeply and reminded her why she chose this profession. When Jane left the hospital late at night, the building was quieter. The lights were dim, and the halls felt empty. Outside, the city was calm again. It had been one of the hardest days Jane could remember. Still, as she walked home under the dark sky, she felt proud. The day had been painful and exhausting, but she had helped people in their most difficult moments. Even on her hardest day, Dr. Jane knew her work truly mattered.